Hello and welcome to Biology Day 4. We're going to learn about the nature of science today, but we've got warm-up questions for you first. So these are warm-up questions. Make sure you're following along and entering them wherever you've been keeping track of them. So I'm going to keep going, but you can pause the video if you need a moment to stop and answer these questions. All right, here we go. So after our warm-up questions, then we do our moment of silence. So take a moment, reflect on something you're grateful for, prayer, meditation, whatever you would like. And then we'll come back and here's our question. So we'll see what people had. And I'm curious, I'll talk with people when we get back, but I'm curious to see what we've got for things. I know some of these we repeated this one, but good things to know. So. Moving into the homework for today. So we've got several things going on homework-wise. So we've got the biology materials check, which is due tonight. The parent signature check, which is also due. The Canvas quiz, number 1, we did that last time. And then the biology Google assignment, which is also due. We're continuing writing people's names on the workbook. I'll check that next time I'm able to do that. And then we've got a new assignment called A1, The Nature of Science, What Am I Seeing? So this is a worksheet. Hopefully, if you're in the classroom watching this video, the sub is there and he's been able to pass the worksheet out to you. I'll show you what the worksheet looks like in a little bit. But A1, The Nature of Science, What Am I Seeing is what we're looking for. And then we're going to move on to some other stuff here. So here's a fun little optical illusion for us to look at. So, are they bears or pigs? I don't know. We debate it, but a lot of people, if you stare at the center, it looks like the inner ring of pigs is moving around in a clockwise direction, while the outer ring of pigs is moving in a counterclockwise direction. And we've seen similar things to this before, and the way it works is your eyes somehow perceive the black is things moving towards the black, and the white move things away from the white. So the periphery of your eyes shift things from white to black on there for some reason. They move towards the shadows. All right, so we did the biology Google 01 assignment. So I was there, I checked to see if anybody had any questions, but it looks like a lot of people were able to get that in and get it successfully done. If you do have questions on it, either message me through Canvas inbox, or there is the Canvas discussion in biology that you can message stuff there as well. I'll answer those when I can. The extra credit I want to talk about real quick. So I like to listen to podcasts. There's a really fun podcast called Monster Talk, and it's got a couple links to it on here. This is an available assignment through Canvas. You'll see it there as well. So listen to a podcast episode and then come talk to me about what you listened to and what you learned. So some of the things you can think about is how do the hosts of the podcast demonstrate this concept of being skeptical, which is a word that we'll learn about. Curious, but also looking for evidence or proof. And does the guest provide reasonable explanation for events? So they have all sorts of different topics, and a lot of their guests are really pretty knowledgeable and do a good job. And then what questions do you have after listening to the podcast? So the extra credit for that is on Canvas. Here's another extra credit, or another optical illusion. This one kind of is bouncing back and forth depending on how you're looking at it. So kind of a fun one here. And then we're going to move into our worksheet here. So this is A1, The Nature of Science. So the front side of the worksheet should look like this. So if you don't have this worksheet, hopefully the sub can get this passed out for you. You can see that on there. There's this guy saying, why people believe weird things, right? So to get us started, there's a space at the top here where it says skeptic. So I want to define this word skeptic because I think it does a lot for talking about kind of how we want to be as scientists, right? So as scientists, a skeptic is a person who retains a mind open to all possibilities, but tempers with scrutiny, reason, and critical thinking. The word temper in this case means to make or modify with something else. Usually it's associated with like combining metals to make something that's of increased toughness. So a skeptic is a person who improves their thinking by being open to possibilities, right? but also is a little bit questionable about what they think. So back on our worksheet in this part where it's got skeptic, go ahead and write in this definition. A person who retains a mind open to all possibilities, but tempers with scrutiny, reason, and critical thinking. That's what we're looking for there. So, all right. And to help us understand this, I've got a link to a video here by Michael Shermer. He wrote a book called Why People Believe Weird Things. And I'm going to stop my video and I'm going to put in Canvas the link to this video that you can watch on there. And he talks about why people believe weird things. All right, so stopping video now. All right, thank you. We'll pick back up in a little bit.